All right, then. Welcome back to another episode of Penalty Broncos Thoroughbreds. We are the number one Broncos podcast that we listen to. I am coming to you from the Bandwagon Bar. We have our forward pack online. We've finally got the band back together. Last week, the Thoroughbreds had to endure me just jawing off for an hour and a bit. So I'm glad that they've come back for another taste. How's your week been, mate? Been a while.
Yeah, mate, it's been a while. Apologies for missing last episode. I did sign in and we were ready to go, just me and you, and then the toddler just started to kick off, and then the baby woke up, and then the missus is like, choose the podcast or your life, basically, sir. So did the
Choice.
strategic thing and, just sort of back down on that one. You got to, lose a few battles to win the war, as they say. So apologies for missing that one, but no, mate, my week was good. I was in Collinsville, my second home, once again, just doing the God's work, making sure everybody's got power and whatnot. So, I thought it was actually going to be a bit more wet than it was. It was pretty sort of dry, like heading out towards the Nebo sort of way of Collinsville. But yeah, like obviously had a heap of rain out there because a lot of our access tracks go through like little creeks and all that sort of stuff, and they are not little creeks anymore. They are full on rivers sort of thing. So, but no, mate, good weekend was good. Just, packing up the house, getting ready to move. It's shit, eh? I hate it. It's, taking my hat off to people that want to flip houses and move every 12 months. I don't know how you do it. Don't know how you do it because it's shit on my end. But no, mate, apart from that, everybody's good. I'm good. So, yeah, life is good, mate. So what about you, Ringer? How have you been, mate?
Yeah, boys, it's same thing. Apologies, Thoroughbreds, for not being there last week. We were in transit up to sunny Townsville, actually, waiting for bub number 3. We went to a lovely little town called Cloncurry, thinking we'd cut off a fair bit of the trip, because Cloncurry to Townsville, not a bad day. Wakes up in the morning, road's closed to Townsville, so we had to tack on an extra 300 odd Ks, go all the way to Winton, across, and then back across to Townsville. But, at least fuel's cheap at the moment, so that's, a good little icing on the cake for that one. So, but no, all here safe and sound, preparing for bub number 3, who's only days away from entering this world. So fingers crossed, everything's going to be fine there. Kids are loving being in a bit of civilization for a change, though. Parks and pools and beaches and shit everywhere for them to do. Shopping centres. 2 little girls, mate, going into a Stocklands or a castle town up in this country. They think that is amazing compared to the Min store in Bullia. So, yeah, no, they absolutely loving it. So, while it's not loving it, but we're here, we're all healthy and can't wait. But, mate, Britta, you had a good little weekend, mate, I heard.
Yeah, mate, we got away. We went a bit of an extended weekending. Went down for the sister-in-law's 40th. Down at Cannonvale Airlie Beach, Big 4 adventure. My lord, I had more fun than the kids, I reckon. There's about 10 slides there that we kept running up and down and whatnot. And the old fella at the moment, she's a bit sore in the limbs, a bit of movement over the weekend. But no, it was really good. The kids actually, yeah, they had mini putt-putt. Anyone, this is a shout out. It's not an ad, but if you want to wrap around a Big 4, yeah, go to Airlie Beach, man. It's a glorious place. Cabins were huge as well. We stayed in the caravan, but the other rallies had a cabin, and she was all fully decked out. We wrapped our eyes around a bit of footy while we were there. And talking about fuel, holy shit, I chewed 60. I had a bit of a headwind, so I chewed 60 litres going down there. That cost me $200 to top the tank back up. And then thankfully we had an arse wind coming back, so wasn't as much damage. The poor old Prado towing a base station, it's doing well, put it that way. So, but no, it was really good down there, actually. Everyone, a mini putt-putt, all sorts of shit, tennis courts and whatnot. But the pool definitely got to work out. We got a couple of water babies here, and they spend more time in it than what they do out of it usually. So, but anyway, we'll move into the show. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we start. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button wherever you're listening to us. That really helps us with the algorithm. We still have no voicemails, Thoroughbreds. You need to find your voices. Send us in a voicemail. We've got the links in the bios on our socials and whatnot. In the description below this episode, it'll be as well. So get them in. I'm sure there would have been a few hollering and a hooting on the weekend. Definitely lit up the comments there with a bit of fun and a bit of banter as well. So that was good. If you want to become a sponsor, please email admin@penaltybroncos.com.au. That also will be in the show description. Right. Let's move into what I thought was going to be an absolutely painful review. But here we are. The footy gods have smiled upon us. We went down to Amy Park Friday night up against the Storm there. Was it 10 or 20 years? Was it 06? 10. 16. Last time we beat Melbourne in Melbourne. That's a wild bit of chat straight off the bat. Langers, what do you think of the 06 Heritage jersey?
Yeah, I think it's a very abrupt reality check that 06 is now fucking heritage. I didn't need that. I thought that was like 2 years ago, mate. What the fuck? But no, it's good.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I like it. It's it's nice. It's good.
What about you, Ringer?
Yeah, it's a great jersey, wasn't it? But yes, also in Langer's boat, when they said heritage, I thought you could say throwback or older,
Just
heritage. Jesus Christ!
Ease it.
We have to take some of my merch down to the bloody Antiques Roadshow shop if that's the fucking case. Jesus.
Just ease it into us. Don't just fucking throw it in our face like that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, fair enough. I loved it. I think it's great. Wasn't on my to get list, so unfortunately my shekels are going to fuel at the moment, but they're also not going to that jersey. I've got my eye on a few others that are coming out. Anyway, it was nearly a packed house down there. 28,245 was the official count, which is 94% of Amy Park.
Yeah, right.
So huge get out there for, considering what everyone was predicting could have happened. There was a lot of gold and maroon getting around in the stadium, which was good to see. We had one fella message in saying that was his first one he'd been to for a while in Melbourne or something, and he thoroughly enjoyed it. So glad the lads turned out for him. First half, 14-0 to the Storm. Unfortunately, we got one try, and we'll talk about it right on the buzzer there. So going into the Sheds, 14-0 down. Second half, completely different sort of a turnaround. It was 0-18 for a 14-18 finish with a famous Broncos win getting over the line there, which was good stuff. Stefano officially being told to shut the fuck up from Craig Bellamy from now on in. Good times ahead for sure. Possession was 51% to 49%. So Storm got us there a couple of percent. Now, completion rate. This has been abysmal over the last opening games of 2026, I guess you could say. 84% from the Storm. They completed 33 out of 39. Now, what I want to point out is we had a 72% completion rate, less than the Storm, better than what we've normally been doing. However, we completed 31 out of 43. So we actually had the ball. We were holding on to it this time. It was good stuff. A little bit of a rank stat here. Average set meters. The Storm's average was 50.65 meters per set, and we're at 38.93.
Wow.
Play the ball speed, exactly the same, 3.47 seconds on average. So going down against a team notorious for the wrestle, that was pretty good, I thought. Tackle efficiency, 89.58% to the Storm, 86.4 for us. They made 361, we made 343. They missed 37, we missed 39. They had 5 ineffective tackles, we had 15. So good scrambling defense and whatnot, but yeah, I thought our defensive effort was really good. Errors, 10, 11. We're still up in double digits for errors there, but, close enough sort of thing. Penalties, 6-5. We actually won a penalty count for once, so penalty Broncos. Ruck was 6-5 as well, so ruck infringements. On report, we had 2, which were thankfully shoot away from the match review committee. We had Staggs and Walsh on report. No sin bins. Kick defusals, 67% to the Storm, 64% for us. Finally, we're up above 50%, but we're still, I'd love to see that up in 70, 80% even. Offloads 10-4. Storm were killing it with the offloads there for a bit. Already said to play the ball speed. Interchange. Now, this will be, we'll have a chat of this at the end of Langer's little bit here, but Craig Bellamy used 7 out of 8. And His Majesty used 6 out of 8. And as Ringer pointed out after the game, there's a couple of people on the bench that didn't get to see any game time at all, which I looked up at my screen, assumed I'd seen someone. Clearly, I'm looking at Xavier Willison, which is what I've figured out, not Oblex Tafar. So very interesting play there, and we'll talk about that as we get through. But anyway, I'll hand it over to Langers to run through the thing. I'm actually quite excited. Thoroughbreds, we're doing this because it's been so rushed. Everyone's been everywhere. I never actually got the run sheet out to the lads before the show, so we're blind reacting. Ringer and I are blind reacting this, so hopefully we can relive some great memories.
Rightio. Well, yeah, I just did the second half because the first half was shit. So, so we'll just kick off into the 40th minute. Nah, we won't do that. We won't do that. We'll have our veggies first, and then we will get into the desserts. Rightio, Thoroughbreds, let's go. So, yes, it is Broncos versus Storm. Broncos kick off. Now, normally I have to do something in like the first 2-3 minutes and something comes up, but this was actually pretty good. It was like a couple of minutes of just solid backwards and forwards footy to kick us off, which I thought was really good. Then we go into the 5th minute. First error of the game belongs to Xavier Willison for knocking the ball on and the Storm's 10-metre line. Old Ezra Mammy puts a little bullet pass through. He's a big X, can't hold on to it. Probably a forward pass by Ezra anyway. So, it would have been probably called that regardless if he caught it. Cheeky stat popped up there at this point, and I think it's amazing. I didn't realize this, but Storm are sitting second for most points scored in the opening 2 games ever on 98 points. So Eels in 1983 are in number 1, and they're on 100 points. Knights in 2006 are sitting 3rd with 95. And Storm this year, 98 points. And ever of all recorded history of the NRL. So that's crazy. Coming off that sort of run.
Crazy.
And yeah, our second half performance from that. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Rightio. Into the 6th minute. Broncos try to spread it quickly through the hands to the right, and Storm number 5, Nick Meaney, ends up stripping the ball from Grant Anderson. So, yeah, just great opportunity for the Storm. Storm set ends early with Storm number 1, Suafa'alongo, throwing the ball over the sideline, trying to link up with Storm number 2, Will Warbrick. So that was always good to see a ball that isn't thrown by Reece Walsh just going sailing over the sideline. Into the 8th minute, we see a knock on by Katoni Staggs. After rolling downfield with the help of a 6 again from a Storm ruck infringement, Broncos spread it right on the Storm's 10-metre line. Ezra hard passes to Katoni, who just couldn't hang on to it, unfortunately. I think you said it, Ringer, in the chat at the time. Like, it was a hard pass, but yeah, you gotta take those, unfortunately it didn't. Opportunity missed? Question mark? Maybe. Probably. But it was a hard pass, so is what it is, I guess. Storm scrum feed on their 10-metre line. Then into the 9th minute, we see a penalty to the Storm for Ezra Mann being offside, and that helps the Storm get out of their end and get into an attacking opportunity. Opportunity eventually ends after 2 set restarts, with Storm number 9, Harry Grant, putting a grubber in that goes dead for a Broncos 20-metre tap. Then into the 12th minute, knock on by Dean Mariner. Broncos spread it left, and Reece Walsh passes to Dean Mariner, who drops the ball. And that one was an easier pass to take than Staggs was. So that was a bit sort of rough that, 12 minutes in, we've had a couple of good opportunities. And, we've basically just been playing dropsies at this point in time. So a little bit worrying that you're just like, fucking hell, lads. You know, it could have had potentially like Dean's drop ball. He was a little bit back from the line, but Staggs was steaming onto his. Big X was steaming onto his. So you know, potentially she could have been 12-0 at this point. So you know, a little bit rough. Broncos doing their first half shit that they're doing again. Then into the 14th minute, penalty to the Broncos was Storm number 6, Cam Munster, doing something. I didn't even write it down. I don't know why, just who he is as a person,
Being an
apparently.
absolute pest.
No, I think he was offside. Actually, yeah, he was. He bolted off the line way too quick. And then Storm number 9, Harry Grant, gives the ref a bit of lip service. So the penalty for, what is it called? Dissent penalty for dissent.
Yeah, dissent now.
Broncos get an extra 10 meters there. So, yeah, old Harry throwing a bit of lip around, eh? Good on him. Broncos set ends with Ezra Mam running it down the short side and getting tackled on the Storm 10-meter line. I don't know. Maybe there was better options there. Who knows? Then into the 18th minute, 5th tackle play for the Broncos season, go down the short side, and Jordan Riki, our boy, who ends up being the saviour of the day, but at this point in time, he puts boot to ball. He's the one that kicks it on the 5th, and it just goes out the side on the full. A standard second roll kick.
Yes.
But like, why is Jordan kicking the ball? What was the play there? Like, you know, like they wanted to run it on the 5th, they spread it, and just like nothing happens from there. Like the markers were all there. The Storm defense was there. It wasn't like there was an overlap or anything like that. Just, I don't know, poor communication or just a play that didn't work out. Chalk it up to however you like. But luckily for us, during that pass, Storm number 4, Moses Leo, drops the ball, trying to play the ball on the second tackle. So that sort of, helps us. Broncos get a scrum feed on their 40-meter line. Now, at this point, so what are we? We're 18 minutes in, and that fucking 6 again bell will just not stop ringing, eh? Fuck me. So, cheeky stat comes up on the TV. Set restarts, Broncos 3, Storm 2. 18 minutes in, we've had 5 set restarts, 18 minutes. And it doesn't slow down from there either.
No.
But anyway, we'll find out soon enough. 19th minute, penalty to the Storm for obstruction on Storm number 7, Jerome Hughes, by Big X. Now, Hughes milked that. Like, he went for Big X and then just got absolutely drifted. And, like, then, fair enough. I think it was Dean Mariner. He, like, slid back into that hole. But, like, that was a defensive play by Jerome. He went for Big X and got drifted, and now that's suddenly, there's suddenly obstruction, which I didn't really agree with. But anyway. Then into the 22nd minute, we see a try to Storm number 1, Suafai Longo, after 6 against, by the sound of it. It wasn't. I think it was 2. Storm number 11, Joe Chan, opens up the defense, passes to Sua, who goes over for the first points of the game. Kick converted from Harry Grant, not Nick.
Yeah,
Mooney.
what's going on with that?
He's like limping around. But he
Yeah.
stays on the field. So,
But I
he
thought there was
just
more. I thought there was more kicking opportunity, like than Harry. I didn't even realize Harry could kick.
I thought it would have been Cameron Munster or Jerome Hughes would have been
Jerome
taking
Hughes.
Yeah,
the off-
Jerome.
but-
Yeah.
I
But
suppose
anyway.
Paps used to be the backup, didn't he? If Meany
Yeah.
wasn't kicking, they used to use Ryan. But I thought Munster used to kick when Paps wasn't there. So Harry just blew me away. His little bloody chicken, little short nuggety legs, just fucking going at it. But anyway,
Good for me. I had him on Supercoach, so happy
so-
days.
I know he
And
did,
yeah,
still didn't score fuck all.
He got 3 for you. I know. I fucking vice captained him. So
He's not, bruh.
Anyway, he converts it. It's 6-0 at this point. So, lads, what were your thoughts on Sua's try? Ring, I'll start with you, mate. How'd you see it?
Yeah, Langers, I thought it, up to this point, I wasn't mad at our resolve. I thought our defensive defensive efforts have been pretty good, and I'll talk a bit more about it after we finish the whole game sort of overshot. But like that, Melbourne are going to score if you give them enough opportunities. Like, they're too good of a rugby league side to do it, and Sua is Sua.
Yeah.
Like, you give him an inch at the moment, he takes a mile. He's just got spiders on him, that kid. So, I'm not unhappy that it's taken 20 minutes odd for Melbourne to score a try. Considering going into the game, I thought if we're not up to this, we could get pumped if we play like we did against Parramatta. So, I'm sort of at this point cherry picking the positives I can, knowing that we've butchered a few good opportunities and continue to seemingly at will drop the ball. So to be 6-0 down from a pretty good try, I wasn't, alarm bells weren't ringing, put it that way.
Yeah. No, fair. Brito, how'd you see it, mate?
Well, two things. The 6 again, just fucking the wrestle to get back momentum now that we've got the 6 again things is almost a Herculean effort in its own right, sort of thing. So hats off to the teams. I know they do that Red Bull tracking now with the momentum and whatnot. Just get rid of that because there's no point. It's just showing you who's had the most 6 agains. But that's all it is. So, but second, was my concern going in was Dean in the centres. Now, Dean's a great player.
Yes.
But he has been playing on the wing a fair bit lately. So, and I know that, they play wherever, whatever. They're footy players. They love it. They do what it is. I was just worried about the combinations. And I thought it was good when Dean made that break. Yes, okay, there was a big gap there because Jerome got hit by Xavier. Sure, they pulled it back. But then the drop ball that you talked about previously was what I was worried about would happen, is just the combinations weren't there. We were clunky and all that sort of stuff. However, defensively, Dean seemed to be okay. It was Ezra again on the inside of him that was sort of not, I don't know, he wasn't doing the best. So that sort of led to that try, I believe, from what I can receive. But again, Joe Chan has got another leg this year, and Sewer. And I mean, like Ringer said, you give them that much opportunity, they're going to score points. But I was very happy. 21 minutes into the game, yes, we're 6-0 down, but we'd had a couple of opportunities. And our defense seemed to be much better. It's just, I was kind of sitting there every time we dropped the ball, I'd flinch and go, fuck, is this it? Nah, then they wouldn't score. Then we'd drop it again. Oh, here we go. And then, finally they crashed over. But, all good so far. All good.
Yeah. But like typical of the Storm to just like lose just such a good player like Pappy and then replace
find
him
another
with just a
fullback.
fucking gun. Like it's just
exactly.
Like,
I mean, they have that many fullbacks at one point. They had to put them in the halves. So
And both of them are internationals.
Exactly. Rightio, Thoroughbreds, let's keep going. So, yes, it is 6-0 after the 22nd minute. Then in the 24th minute, cheeky little stat pops up. And I didn't realise, I knew there was obviously a lot of pressure and Broncos were sort of squandering their opportunities. But tackled in the opposition 20 at the 24th minute, Storm 16, Broncos 1. So
shit.
that says a lot about field position and all that sort of stuff. But
Yeah, right.
16-1 in 24 minutes. So that sort of tells a lot. Tells a lot. Then into the 26th minute, knock on by Ezra Mam. Reece Walsh puts up a bomb on the 5th. Everybody lets it bounce. Ball bounces towards the Storm try line, and Ezra then he just darts for it. Tussles with someone, who cares? Unfortunately, can't keep his hands on it, knocks the ball forward, knocks it on. So, I don't know. Like, I was sort of happy with that. I don't think it was like, oh, Ezra knocked it on. You know what I mean? It was like ball bounced, he went for it, he tussled for it, couldn't get his hands on it properly. So, is what it is.
I liked his enthusiasm for that. Like, I like seeing that get after it sort of mentality had. Like, he'd been lacking that. So I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Cheeky stat also comes up then. Set completions, Storm 14 out of 17, Broncos 7 out of 13. And run meters directly after that. 509 for the Storm, Broncos 414. So, like, the Storm have completed literally double the amount of sets that the Broncos have, but they've only got an extra, 20% more run meters.
Yep.
So, it's sort of, I thought Broncos would be sitting around like the 200 mark at that point if Storm are 509, but no, 414 apparently. make of that what you will. Make of that what you will. 28th minute knock on by Grant Anderson. So she just, she's that way at the first half, wasn't it? Anderson makes a break down the right-hand side, holds the ball in his right hand only, like it's a fucking beer, doesn't he? And then Storm number 6, Cameron Munster, just doing what he fucking does, just plays at the arm. Mate drops the ball. But ref blows a penalty because Reece Walsh, he passes to Anderson, who makes that break. He gets absolutely creased by Storm number 4, Moses Leo. It's ruled as, dangerous tackle. So Broncos end up getting a penalty for that one. But I do have Anderson lucky to get away with that average ball control because, what are you doing? It's your first game for the Broncos.
Just a beacon for Munster.
Yeah, and you're just holding the ball like this, bruh. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, but
not in my house.
Yeah. So it's a Broncos tap inside the Storm 40-metre line. Set ends with Paddy Carrigan trying to pass the ball in the tackle on the Storm's try line. So that's like as he's falling, he's like right there, and then he tries to get the ball off. Ben Hunt tries to kick it because it basically just fumbles towards the ground sort of thing. Ben Hunt tries to kick it, and then Storm number 1, Suafai Longo, scoops it up. So I don't know. That's just how the set ended. Had a little bit of a chop. Paddy was right there. He was never going to score. The defenders, they had him sort of pretty covered. But one would think you get a nice offload away.
Yeah,
could have worked his magic. Who knows? Then into the 32nd minute, Reece Walsh, 40-20 kick, mate.
Yeah.
How good. Beautiful kick from the lad.
And
it was
just
like on the 30
easy.
metre. Just fucking love that from him, mate. Like, it's so good that he just has that in his arsenal as well. Like, we're getting pumped, and he's just like, wingers, not in his correct position. Bang, off it goes. So
And Sua knew too. As soon as he kicked it, Sua knew. He's like,
fuck. It's a great play, isn't it? That little swing around behind the ruck to get onto his left boot. Notice too, Paddy Carrigan nearly fucked it. Remember how we done this in the opening round where Reece swung around behind and kicked it into the back of Willison because they were in the wrong spot? Like Paddy was like, "Oh shit!" And like if you watch that again, like Paddy has to fucking get out stage left to get out of the road so the kick to happen. So they've been training that shit.
Yes.
Good pick up.
So great opportunity for the Broncos at this point. Set ends with a knock on by Katoni Staggs. So yeah. Hunt flots the ball over the top to the right where we had the Storm outman 3-1. And Katoni just couldn't hang on to it. Look, it wasn't the best rainbow pass from Hunt, but definitely catchable. And it's just one of those first halves, unfortunately. Then into the 35th minute, Dean Mariner drops the ball in the tackle on the third inside the Broncos 20 metres. So, I've just got Storm all over the Broncos in this set. It was the third tackle and the Broncos were still on their 20 metres. So they were getting pumped. And then, Dean drops the ball. 37th minute. Penalty to the Storm for a high shot by Reece Walsh on Storm number 6, Cameron Munster, as Cameron was sort of falling in the tackle. I'm assuming that's where he got put on report for.
They said it was a shoulder charge.
Yeah, nah. Yeah. Anyway, Storm opt for the 2, like the cowards that they are. Converted by Harry Grant. She's 8-0. But lads, talk to me. What are your thoughts on that? Like, I'm a little bit how you going on that one. But Brito, what are your thoughts, mate?
It was the most Melbourne thing that I've ever seen. And there was a lot of Melbourne things happening in this game as it goes on. Like, I think I wrote in the chat in the second half, I was like, Melbourne are stressed here. Like, you could see Jerome and Munster were both trying to do what they needed to do to get there. And that included some pretty dodgy shit. And that was one of them. There was the short dropout. I don't know when that comes up. I don't know if it was first half or second half, but there was a short dropout where they kick it. It bounces on the 8-meter line and then just shoots and just by the skin goes over the 10. You're like, that, fuck me. Like, but
not only does it do that, evades a touch for their own player to go out over the
Yeah.
sideline because it
Yeah.
felt so high. It's like, fuck,
Yeah,
man,
Yeah.
we're just not going to win that one, are we?
But no, like the fact that they went for the 2 and,
Yeah.
it's a call, I don't know. I'm glad it just got completely thrown out as soon as they had a look at it and we move on sort of thing. But taking the 2, I'm like, oh, we just need to get to the sheds. Like, let's just get to the shed. And I think I said that in the chat as well. Are we still fitter in the second half? Because if
Yeah.
we are within striking distance, surely we can outpace these dudes. But
Yeah.
that was my thoughts.
Ringer, what were your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, exactly the same. Got to agree with Brito there. I was thinking the same thing. If we can get to the shed 8-0 down after the absolute carnage that we produced in this Melbourne at home, like, you don't beat them. You could put nearly the Maroons down there sometimes and not beat them. So, to be within spitting distance at 8-0, with them taking the kick this close to half time, showing you a fair bit of respect for your defence, I thought was a big tick. That we had them a bit shot. But yeah, it's dangerous, isn't it? When it's the same thing. You just keep giving them opportunities like we did. They're going to come down and punish you. And 2 points was like the other end of the pineapple at this stage. So it was like, okay, well, it's not great, but it's better than the other end.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's definitely true. Rightio, so yeah, it's 8-0 to the Storm, 37th minute. Then into the 39th minute, penalty to the Storm for a high shot by Benny Hunt on Storm number 17, Cooper Clark, and that helps the Storm get into attacking territory. And then right on the stroke of half time, literally, there are 0 seconds left. And we see a try to Storm number 11, Joe Chan. So last play of the half, Storm number 7, Jerome Hughes, takes on the line. Paddock Harrigan takes him around the ankles and Corey Pakes slips off him. So Jerome then gets the hand free. Hughes gets the pass away to Chan, who crashes over for the Storm's second try of the night. Kick is converted. She is 14-0. Bang, half time. So got a couple of little notes here and then I'll grab your thoughts. Devastating to concede that try right on half time. Everybody is in agreement with that one. That was fucking bullshit. I think everybody was just like 8-0. Let's go in the sheds. Let's regroup. Let's get a bit of a chat from Madge. We'll be fucking set for the second half. And then once it goes to 14, then you go. Storm with a lot of pressure, keeping the Broncos from really doing anything. That stat before, just tackled inside the opposition 20-meter line. Storm were just all over the Broncos, and the opportunities that the Broncos did get, they just fucking knocked the ball on. So wasn't great, which led into my next little thing there. Errors and penalties once again costing the Broncos. That 6 again bell getting worn out with the amount of times it's been rung. It's just fucking, I'm sick of it, eh? Like it's not.
Yeah.
It's like that Telstra whistling ad at this point. Fucking, makes my blood boil. But anyway, big second half coming up. But lads, what are your thoughts on Joey Chan's try and just the first half in general? Ringer, mate. I'll start with you, mate. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, well, like you said, mate, this is the sort of what I thought was going to be the stake to the heart of our campaign down in Melbourne. I thought, this is going to make the boys, lose their confidence in their, they've had sort of pretty good confidence in their defense considering what we've thrown up, but to concede that on the bell, that's just going to break their hearts. They're going to come out in second half. Storm couldn't do anything to us at this stage. Blah blah blah. And once again, I know we're very fit, but I often wonder this about Madge when you've got someone like Moser on the bench, why you wouldn't give Corey Pakes even 7 minutes, 6 minutes before halftime, 5 minutes after halftime. Corey was gassed. He made the most tackles of anyone on the field, played 80 in the middle. And he just didn't have the energy, and neither did Paddy, to be honest. Paddy, they are both our most defensive-minded people, sort of were the ones that were involved in that effort, and just by the look of it, from sheer exhaustion, just couldn't keep up with it. We've been defending all half. So that is one thing I've never understood, but it's been a constant for a long time. Even when Hunty was 14, Pakesy plays the whole first half, no matter how
Yeah.
gassed he looks. But, whether that is something that just hardens the shit out of him for the back end of the year, I don't know. But, yeah, when you got someone like Moser on the bench there, I can't see why he couldn't just play sort of 6 or 8 minutes either side of the half just to give someone a longer break. But general thoughts on the first half, I was with Brito with the Mariner defensive thing, thinking it's a big call to pull Shibber out because of his defence just to throw Mariner, a winger, that's like a winger for us anyway, for the last, 18 months, into a centre role against probably the best, well, obviously the best attacking team in the comp. But I thought that edge of Mariner and Karapani, which they went down a hell of a lot, did very well on just committing. When they seen something coming their way, they just put the afterburners on and got in someone's face and come up with something. Like if the ball went past them, I think there was one time at least where the ball went over the sideline. And then I think another time the ball actually got passed behind and they had to pick it up. It didn't hit the winger's chest just because they just went, right, we're going. Someone will cover from behind and get to, if they're going to go in the corner, so be it. Someone might get to them, but they just committed to their man and they actually hit what they needed to hit. So I was pretty impressed with that, actually. But yeah, once again, mate, you can't make 10 errors and give away a bajillion 6 agains and penalties and expect to do any good against the Storm at all.
Yeah, 100%. Brito, what are your thoughts on the try and the first half, mate?
Yeah, that that left edge for us. So obviously, last week it was identified that the left edge was weak, and Melbourne having a right edge. You got to remember that right edge was Eli Katoa's right edge, and Chan hasn't exactly he's not Eli Katoa, but I mean he's got the advantage that they prefer that right edge as well.
Yeah.
So all he needs to do is play his role, and good things will happen as we've seen with that try, but. Yeah, I agree with Ringer. The commitment shine, and what a dynamic duo too. I'm just Karapani and Mariner. You got Twinkle Toes and old mate that just doesn't quit. He's like the ever ready battery sort of thing. It's could be interesting going forward if how much that changes. I mean, we seen last year what happened when you dropped out of the side. I mean, Cobbo dropped out and never really got back in. Is Shibber looking at, Jesse Arthurs has never got back in. Is Shibber now waiting on injury to get back into the side sort of thing? So it's going to be interesting to watch there. I've got a couple of stats here. So Grant Anderson had 10 runs in that first half. Patrick Carrigan had 12. Carrigan had run for 97 metres in 40 minutes. Riki had 28 post contacts. Payne had broken 4 tackles, but that's pretty standard for Payne. And tackles, Carrigan was at 28 and Corey Jensen was 24. And a massive shout out to Corey Jensen. He obviously didn't fare too well in our overseas trip. Then he did next to nothing in our opening round. And we thought maybe, a bit of a hangover from the England trip. And then he kind of got back into his groove against the Eels. But this game, I feel like he has certainly made up and he is aware of his shortfalls. But yeah, Corey in this game was huge. 14-0 down. It was only after the game that Rando put up. Teams were 0-23 when down 14 plus points to 0 at halftime at Amy Park versus the Storm. So no team had come back from 14-0 down at all. Yeah, if I had read that at halftime, I would have fucking shit, whatever. But I was pretty confident and not we're good. It was we could still do this. I expected the Storm to be a lot more ahead if it was going to be what was going to happen. The fact that we were 14-0 down, the fact that it happened right on the stroke of halftime, you nearly look like that's a 6-point swing sort of thing, but. Yeah, I was pretty. I was also watching the first half of my phone on the courtesy back from the pub that apparently doesn't believe in having any fucking TVs. So, shout out to Northerlies in Airlie. Don't go there if you don't like sport because they don't either. So, anyway, we'll move on.
How's it still even operational, that place?
Mate, it's that far out of town. It must be just a locals retreat, I reckon.
Yeah.
But no pokies, no TVs,
Yeah.
nothing.
Fucking
So
hippies.
not even sure how you can call yourself a bar, to be honest. But anyway,
Yeah, speakeasy.
Yeah. Righto, Thoroughbreds, we've gotten through the veggies. Now let's get into some dessert. Let's get into some better reading. Let's get into some nicer sort of stuff. So, second half, Storm kickoff. Straight into the 41st minute. Penalty to the Broncos for Cameron Munster being offside. That helps the Broncos get into attacking opportunity. 6 again, bell rung. And then into the 42nd minute, penalty to the Broncos on the 10-metre line for Storm number 7, Jerome Hughes. Chopping, I think, I don't really know this one. Chopping at the ball as Corey Pakes tries to pick it up from marker after play the ball from Brendan Piacura. So, yeah, Brendan plays the ball. Corey's about to pick it up, and Jerome just sort of dives over it and chops at the ball. The commentator said, chopping. So, I don't know. I don't really know what is it called a chop?
Yeah, just Melbourne doing Melbourne things, really.
Yeah, typical Melbourne shit. Yes, so they're on the Storm 10-metre line. They get a penalty. Broncos opt for the tap because their mamas didn't raise no bitches, unlike the Storm. And then, luckily, pays off because into the 42nd minute, try to Jordan motherfucking Riki. Love to see that. After a hard run, boys. After a hard run by Payne Haas, standard shit. Broncos spread it right to Reece Walsh, who short passes to Riki, who breaks the tackle and crashes over for the Broncos' first points of the night. Kick converted from Reece Walsh. She is 14-6. Lads, talk to me. What are we feeling? Brito, mate, talk to me.
Mate, seeing Geordie crash over, I've been waiting years to watch him run like that. Like, I pray every night that, the Broncos wake up and they go, you know what we should do? Short ball to Geordie on an absolute fucking tear and make him think that he's Britain Nakora or something like that. Like, I love seeing it. Pissed because last week I had him for any time. He gets over the line, just bobbles it. Well, no worries. And then this week, just straight up the first one. So, love the fact that they took the tap, and love the fact that it didn't look like, it's something that we'll try. It looks like this is something that we've been running at practice. So I'm excited for this year, especially with the thickies we got on the bench and the thickies we got in the team on the field at the moment. I'm so keen to see, because it adds another strike to us. Like, I know we love to play ad-lib footy, fuck it footy, whatever you want to call it, throw it out, get Reece running out the backs. Yeah, sure, that's all good. But what happens if we're within 20 metres of the try line and now you've got to worry about Jordan Riki, Xavier Willison or any of them coming in and just short balling straight at the line? Love this shit. Love it.
Yeah. Ringer, how are you seeing it, mate? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Brito's nailed it there. I think, too, we got to give Payne a hell of a lot of umbrage for creating the space for that try, because Melbourne were trying to do Melbourne shit with Payne because they know he's so dangerous. They got a shit ton into the tackle. I think there was 4 at one point, 1 peel. They were trying to slow him right down, but just because he's like superhuman, he just like goes bang and plays the ball, and there's all of a sudden they were just like, fuck, we're in trouble here. And it was very good. Reece is very good at identifying that, and because he's so quick, he just got outside the 2-in defender. It's like, nah, bruh. But yeah, like Brito said, isn't it great to have Jordan? Like, bro, you're an Adonis. You're a huge athletic sort of creature. Hit those holes, mate. If you catch the ball, you're gonna do some absolute damage in this competition. And yeah, like, he didn't have to do much because just the threat of what everyone knows Reece is gonna do. Like, they're that worried about him dumbing and going himself or trying to beat his man, throwing a harbour bridge, firing a short ball, whatever. And Jordan's just not been a threat for 18 months, and now all of a sudden hits him short, over he goes. And yeah, I love it. And like Brito said, if we start doing that, it just adds such a huge string to our bow in that inside 20 attack, where all of a sudden, everyone is a threat. And, you know, if we start, can you imagine, like, even Procura later in the game, we'll get to him, no doubt, but, like, they're damaging. If you get them one-on-one, and Jordan too, they're handfuls. So, yeah, it's going to put teams in two minds if we can start using these fellas a bit more.
Love the white headgear to go with the white retro.
Yeah,
don't take it off.
Mate,
Not allowed to take it off now.
Yeah. That looks sick.
Yeah, hell yeah. Rightio, let's keep going because this is just the tip of this little piece of cake. So it is 14-6. At this point, obviously, Storm is still leading, 42nd minute. Then into the 47th minute, Ricky Stat decides to pop up on the screen. We were talking about that bell being fucking rung. Storm 6, Broncos 5, set restarts. So there's 11, and it doesn't stop there, does it? Keeps fucking ringing. Also in the 47th minute, fourth tackle play from the Storm sees number 11, Joe Chan, break through an Ezra Mam tackle, runs 10 metres and puts a grubber through for himself, but just, puts a little bit too much mustard on that one. And, goes dead for a 20-metre restart for the Broncos. Just got a little note here. Ezra getting found out defensively again because could have, would have, should have, tackled him and just didn't.
Which
and
is
created the spot.
Which is frustrating me because Ezra, we talked him in the off season about how defensively sound he is. And like he was showing that in the grand final last year where he's putting shots on big fellas. And he put that shot on Warbrick in the grand final, which shook him and basically took him out of the game. But like, I don't know what's going on with Ezra. And I hope to God he fixes it because we need him to be that. And it's frustrating to watch him get found out, which I'm sure he would be as well. So anyway, that's my whinge for that. I don't get it.
Speaking of things that I don't fucking get, here comes this next one, which I'm hoping you guys can shed some light on because, anyway, you'll see what I'm saying. Into the 49th minute, we see a Storm captain's challenge for a disruptor in the kick challenge.
Oh, where are you going with this?
Yep. Rightio. So it's a disruptor, right? So that's what they're, all right, look at it. They're Storm are claiming a disruptor, right? So fifth tackle play sees Reece Walsh run down the short side, put up a bomb which is contested by Dean Mariner and Storm number 1, Suafai Longo. Dean knocks it back towards the Broncos line, so it's knocked back, and it goes into the heel of Storm number 2, Will Warbrick. Ball then travels into the Storm in goal, and Will Warbrick grounds it in goal for a Storm dropout. Captain's challenge is deemed inconclusive, so the Storm retain their challenge. How?
No.
How? It wasn't a fucking disruptor, so you should lose the fucking challenge. Yes?
Yeah.
No? Am I a moron? I don't understand it. Talk to me.
I thought that they said, no, it's not a disruptor. They cleared it, but then they just said Storm retain their challenge. And I'm sitting on the couch going, how the fuck do you keep your challenge if what you challenged was proved to be incorrect? Like, I never understood that piece of play either. But did you hear them say inconclusive? Like, how do you also get inconclusive as well?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Exactly. It's either a disruptor or it isn't in your world.
To me, the disruptor rule to me, in the simplest terms, is if you leave the ground with both hands towards the ball as if you're going to catch it up above your head, it's not a disruptor. Because somehow, if you just jump up, you jump up the wave your hand in front of the old mate trying to catch the ball, I get it. But if you do it with two, it's not a disruptor. But that's the way that I've learnt it over the last couple of rounds. You got to leave the ground with two hands above your heads, basically. If you do that shit, drop the second one, bat it with your other one, and then move on. But what a fucking, I never got that. I don't understand why they got to keep their challenge. What about you, Ringer? How did you see that one?
Exactly. Why do you get to keep your challenge if what you challenged was unsuccessful and you got to do what they said anyway? Like, I really don't understand. Like, the only thing I can think of is they said Melbourne are challenging the knock on, but then how do you keep your fucking challenge again? So I was really confused with that all the way around. Like, just don't. They're not allowed to have it.
I thought it was
Melbourne. I thought we were bad, but that was fucking bad.
yeah, like obviously I'm not the most NRL rules fucking savvy bloke there, but yeah, like if it was a disruptor and it was proven, it would have been a penalty,
Yeah.
but it wasn't a penalty, so therefore it's not a fucking disruptor.
Yeah,
There was plenty of evidence there to prove one way or the other. It wasn't like, oh fuck, I don't really know, but
yeah,
anyway,
Yeah.
there's no point hanging on to this, boys, because we've got a shitload of good stuff still to come. So let's just keep pushing. We'll chalk it up to, like what Ringer said, Melbourne at Melbourne, and we'll just move on. Now, because of this, it is a dropout for the Storm. 49th minute. Storm do a short dropout. Now we touched on this a little bit before, but the ball goes 8 meters. Everybody lets it bounce, and then the ball then travels over the sideline after the 10-meter mark. So Storm get the ball back. Now, look, if you're trying for that for your reason while doing a short dropout will work, go fuck yourself, basically. That's luck.
Yeah.
That is luck that
Yeah.
happened. That nobody touched it. It bounced the right way. Clearly, everybody was letting it bounce because they were assuming that it wasn't going to fucking do that.
Yeah.
Like bounce towards the Broncos line, past the 10, and over everybody's head. Nobody touches it. Like that is
Yeah,
a
'cause
lot of ducks got to get lined up for
yeah.
that to come off. So, yeah, do you still want to have a short dropout in your game? Well, just stay tuned, mate. We'll see if the second one pays off. Let's keep going.
And don't get up the lads for not contesting that. You can't touch it unless it goes over the 10.
Yeah.
It's impossible for them to even attempt to do anything because, like we said, it bounces high enough that you can't even reach it anyway. So, yeah. Fucking Melbourne.
We'll chalk that up to luck, and then, Storm doing Storm shit. Then, doesn't matter, boys, because 3 minutes later, 52nd minute, second try of the night to Jordan motherfucking Riki. Fifth tackle play sees Ben Hunt fake spreading it left, short passes down the right, to the short side, down the short side to Katoni Staggs. He draws a defender, passes to Riki, who crashes through Moses Leo and Suafa'alongo in the corner for the Broncos' second try of the night. Kick from the sideline by Reese. Beautiful kick. It's converted straight over the black dot too, and high. Like the boy's got a boot on him, mate.
Boot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, kick is converted. It is 14-12 at this point. Lads, Jordan, he hasn't had a try in 34 years. He's just got 2. How are we seeing it? What are we thinking? What are we feeling? How's the decibels in the house, or in your case, the cabins? Ringer, talk to me.
Yeah, lids were blown off these little Big Four holiday parks. I'm sure there were some terrified backpackers in the back passages of this place. But I don't think anyone was probably more surprised to be scoring a try in the corner than Jordan himself. Like, because you like when you watch it from front on, you can see how well the wingers do it. Like getting the ball in the right hand away from the defense coming and like lowering their body, and what Jordan's just like, boss, let's go. Like none of this preserving the ball stuff. He just got in there, but good on him. Smart little call from Benny Hunt to sort of see that, and Katoni just to do enough to sort of give him some space. So great to see Jordan go for 2. Like, if you can wrangle a Jordan any time's a good thing. If you're out there, Thoroughbreds, and you had Jordan for 2+, please reach out because I want to shake your
we want to
hand.
know that. Yeah, we want to know that.
Yeah. And what did you know?
Yeah, exactly right. Bretto, how do you see it, mate?
I couldn't stand up at this point.
blood straight out of the legs,
Blood,
eh?
mate. Just I was around people that didn't know me, like all that sort of stuff. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Hunt called it. Reese wanted it out on the other side. Hunt's like, nah, we're going this way. We're short. Katoni knew what to do, and Geordie knew what to do, and that boy was hooking. That was great. I actually thought it was Anderson for a little bit, and then I realized it was wearing headgear. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, Geordie, I love a Jordan Riki double. Just soothes my soul. Even if we went and lost, I would have been still pretty happy about it. But yeah, I was pretty ecstatic that we'd been able to come out and go and bang bang, been the first to score, backed it up with some more points. The defense was still there, starting to frustrate Melbourne a little bit. You could see they weren't panic stations at this point, but you could see that they're like, righto, we need to do what we always do. We just play footy, do our footy, and then we'll put this one away, sort of thing. But we put them in an uncomfortable position, and it was good to see.
Yep.
But Jordan Riki double, mate. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Love
Give it
that.
to my
Love
veins.
it. Yeah.
100%. Rightio, Thoroughbreds, let's keep going. So, yes, it is 14-12 at this point. Then into the 55th minute, fifth tackle bomb from Storm number 7, Jerome Hughes, is taken relatively comfortably by Reese, but is tackled in the air by Storm number 14, Tyron Wishart. Ref doesn't blow a penalty. Now, I'll put that in because it's not the only one.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll talk about it in the full-time sort of wrap-up notes. Yeah, 55th minute, tackled in the air, ref doesn't blow a penalty. Then into the 56th minute, penalty to the Broncos for a high shot on Ezra Mann by Storm number 11, Joe Chan. That puts the Broncos into attacking territory. Set ends with a grubber by Reece Walsh. That's batted dead by Jerome Hughes for a Storm dropout again. Storm go for the short dropout. Now, what happens? Ball just goes straight out the fucking sideline, doesn't it? So, penalty Broncos. Short dropout failed. Get that shit out of your fucking game. Add it to the tally, Brito, because it's happened again. Then, because of that, short dropout failed. Broncos get the ball back. What happens in the 58th minute? Try to motherfucking Katoni Stags. Love to see that. And it feels good for me because obviously I harp on about the short dropout pretty much. And then the Broncos score, putting us in front. It feels good.
It's good to get one back.
Good spot, you know what I mean? So, yes, we see a try to Katoni Stags in the 58th minute. Ben Hunt double pumps and short passes to Katoni, who is just running a superb line. Beats Cameron Munster and Suafai Longo and scores near the uprights for the Broncos' third try. I thought he was about to dive over the dead ball line, to be honest. I was like, what is with these boys and wanting to go close to it? Like flashbacks of Dean Mariner, tiptoeing on the grand final. Jesus, like just put the ball down, mate. Kick is converted. Broncos lead for the first time. It is 18-14. Lads, talk to me. How are we feeling? How are we thinking? What are we seeing? Brito, talk to me.
Yeah, it's good ball from Hunty, wasn't it? Just nice little switch play, sort of. Munster's pretty good. Like Origin and all that, he's pretty over all that sort of stuff, but kind of caught him off guard there. Plus the way that Katoni was hitting that ball, he had the momentum with him and everything. So I'd like to point out as well with that conversion from to make it 18, the Broncos in 2026 are 100% conversion rate. With their tries, we are sitting above and beyond the stats record there. The Warriors are sitting atop a lot of these stats too, by the way. But we are 100%. Sea Eagles are 89%. Dolphins are 88%. So good stuff there. And Renault not even on the field with that one. But anyway, we'll talk about that too in a little bit. Now, in terms of where we are scoring, I was like, this cannot be happening. This is amazing. I'm in a cabin surrounded by fellow Broncos supporters. The brother-in-law, I guess you could call him, is a mad Broncos fan as well. We're all sitting there blowing up when Reece gets taken out, and like you said, it wasn't the one. There was multiple occasions, and we're just what is going on? But yeah, that one was good. That one followed it very loud. A round of applause in the cabin, that's for sure.
Ringer, how are you seeing it, mate? What were your thoughts? Yeah, just Thoroughbreds hitting holes on the right edge for us has been the story for success for us in this game. Which Katoni, Jordan, look at them. Get them running hard onto a flat line with a bit of space. It's going to be pretty hard to stop. So, great ball from, and it was very well done to go over untouched by a Storm player. But like you said, Langers, when he done the Swanee, I was like, Kadoni, don't you fuck this up by going into the bloody first row. But yeah, no, brilliant, mate. Really happy that, we've scored 18 points in 17 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
That's so Bronco, isn't it?
It's so Broncos. It's like get absolutely decimated in the first half and then just go, fuck, we better play footy. Bang. And then to get the lead back. And then, as we'll no doubt go through, there's no more points scored in the game from here on in. So, it's a roller coaster to be a thoroughbred at this stage and a Broncos fan because you don't know, like box of chocolates, you never know what you're going to get.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, it is 18-14 at this point. And then, just after the conversion, cheeky stat pops up for second half completions. Storm 5 out of 5, Broncos 13 out of 13. So that's very, tail of the tape sort of stuff for the second half at this point. But I love your roller coaster analogy, Ringer, because in the 61st minute, so obviously first half was shit. Nobody's happy with it. Then in the second half, 20 minutes, bang, bang, bang. Holy shit, we're winning. This is great. Then a couple minutes later, 61st minute, Reece Walsh tries for another 40-20 and then kicks the ball out on the full. And I was just like, nah, bro. We just did all that work to get in and now you're going to be doing this. Nah, bro, we can't be doing that. So, Storm play the ball inside the Broncos 40 metres. Storm set ends early with a forward pass by Storm number 4, Moses Leo, to Nick Meaney inside the Broncos 10-metre line. Now, look, everybody was looking at that. They even did the cam up the top, and that was a forward pass. So, correct call from the ref. So, appreciate that. Then into the 66th minute. Because, if they didn't call that, he was probably... he probably might have been over there. So, good to see. Good to see the correct call from the ref. Then into the 66th minute, Reece Walsh takes a fifth tackle bomb and is tackled in the air by Storm number 13, Tua Kamakamika. Ref doesn't blow a penalty again. And, Reece gets up blowing up. Up. I watched it on Win on Friday night, and then I rewatched it for the notes on KO. So 2 different lots of commentators, and they were both like, why is that not a penalty? That is a penalty. Every day for the last 2 years, that has been the rule. If you put your hands on him, that is a penalty. So it's happened twice now. So,
Well, and the disappointing thing about those calls is that you're not allowed to even breathe near a kicker now. I've seen Andrew John say something the other day. You've taken all the pressure out of the game with this kicker rule where you can't touch them. Because he said, it was in our game where he actually said it, where we had a great defensive set, but then because you can't go near Mitchell Moses, he just boots it down to our 10-metre line. He just puts a 60-metre kick in. So you can't go near a kicker. And for however long now, anytime you touch a player in the air when they're receiving the ball, it's an automatic penalty. And we've had 2 in 10 minutes. And not even, it's so frustrating because it's the things that, if they did it the third time and he comes down on his knee weird or comes down on his head or his shoulder, you know what I mean? You get the one penalty, but we lose a player for 10 weeks. It's the same for any player. It doesn't have to be us. If you're going to make it a rule, make it a fucking rule.
And let's differentiate that straight away as well, because I see a lot of these comments online as well, where you'll do a game like this, you go on, sure enough, the other team is, the Broncos got away, blah, blah, blah. We don't come from it here on the penalty Broncos anyway. We don't come from it. We want the officiating to be perfect across all teams, all games, even. I know, and when I say perfect, it's per ref is going to adjudicate it consistently in their style. I understand that the ref that we got on Friday is going to be different to the ref that refs the one in Townsville that happened on Sunday. I get that. But you need to, okay, so that ref from now on in, you can go up to a fullback and smack him in the air. That's all it is. But you know that that's not the case. So, we don't come from it as in poor Bronco. No, we want the officiating to be fair across the whole thing. just to make that clear.
Yep. No, I'm with you. So, yeah, Reese does take that tackle. So then obviously Broncos get a set. But unfortunately, during that sec, we see a knock on by Ezra Mann. So Payne Haas offloads the ball after getting his arm free in the tackle.
Yeah,
And then
Ringer,
Ezra
you had
just,
a heart failure.
he just takes his eye off the ball. Look, the cherry was there because he knew that he was in some fucking space there. All he had to do was
Yeah.
just catch it and go, but he just started to go before he caught the ball. And
Yeah.
he had his hands there and it just went straight through his hands. It was just,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is
yeah.
twice this season.
Knock on by
A
Ezra
half,
Mann.
be it Benny Hunt the first time and now Ezra. If you're not standing there not expecting offload from Payne Haas, just get off the field because he is our number one offloader.
Yeah.
Be ready to
Yeah.
take the ball and then do what you're going to do. Like Langer said, we were off to the races if that sticks because we would have had him shot to shit, especially with Ezra's feet around a tiring pack. It probably would have been shut the gates. But anyway, once again, we just decided not to hold the ball.
Yep.
Mind you, I think that's our first error of this half. So
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, we'll keep going. So, yes, knock on by Ezra Mann, 66th minute. It's an opportunity for the Storm. Opportunity ends with strong D from the Broncos and takes Storm number 5, Nick Meaney, over the sideline. Now, I got up and about for this just as much as a try. I thought it was amazing. Anderson, Staggs, Walsh and Hunt all coming together to set Nick on his way. Just beautiful to see. Love that. Just, oh, fuck. It was so good, eh? And then, they loved it too. They got up. It was all, just good to see. Good footy. You love to see it. Then into the 71st minute, knock on by Storm number 3, Jack Howarth on the Broncos try line. Storm number 7, Jerome Hughes puts the ball up. Reece Walsh, Jack Howarth, and Harry Grant. The boy, he got some feet on him. He got a bit aerial there for a small fella. All three of them, they all go for the ball. Ball touches Jack's hands and travels forward. So deemed by knock on. Then in the 73rd minute, Storm number 7, Jerome Hughes, kicks to the corner for Storm number 2, Will Warbrick on the 5th. Him and Josiah Karapani go for the ball, and Warbrick knocks the ball on into Dean Mariner, and the ball goes dead. They were in goal when it happened, so that's ruled a 20-metre tap for the Broncos. Then into the 75th minute, Storm run it on the 5th. Storm number 6, Cameron Munster, makes a 30-metre break and then kicks to the corner for Storm number 2, Will Warbrick, but just, puts a little bit too much on it, and the ball goes over the sideline inside the Broncos' 10-metre line. So, look, in 4 minutes, Storm have had 3 opportunities to score, so they are just throwing everything at the Broncos at the moment, and just, our scrambling D is just holding firm. Few errors, obviously, from the Storm, but, just good to see. Then into the 76th minute, penalty to the Storm for high contact on number 4, Moses Leo, by Katoni Staggs. This is where Staggs, he gets put on report as well. Leo goes off for a HIA. Another opportunity for the Storm. That opportunity ends with solid and swarming defence, leaving Cameron Munster no choice but to hold on to the ball on the 5th and is tackled inside the Broncos' 10-metre line. So, she's just all Storm at this point. We're just basically trying to hold on to our lead, and Storm are trying to do everything to take it off us. But, lads, I do have a little cheeky observation at this point. And, look, I'll get your thoughts on it because, I really liked it. Actually, I've got a cheeky observation, then a cheeky stat, then I'll get your chat. So, cheeky observation. A view of Ben Hunt's leadership. He's setting up to play the ball with Reece Walsh as dummy half. Reece then leans over and suggests a play to him. I'm assuming it's a play. He says something. Ben Hunt then just shakes his head and he's just like, nah, we're not doing that. Keep your fucking head, mate. Plays the ball, plays on. I personally, I just loved that. I loved to see that because, Reece, Reece is a fucking superstar. We all know that. We glaze the lad. But he is a bit hot-headed, they are on their 8-metre line, and Reece Walsh is like, what if I do a 40-20 right now? That sort of shit. And you're just like, bruh, calm down. Like there's 2 minutes to go. Let's just play the ball. Let's just run through our sets, sort of shit. So personally, love to see that from Benny. Just like keeping it calm, keeping him, in his place. Just do your role, Reece. We'll be fine, sort of thing. So love to see that with 2 minutes to go. And then after that happens, cheeky stat pops up on the screen. In the last 10 minutes, so possession, Storm 65%, Broncos 35%. Tackled in opposition half, Storm 16, Broncos 3.
Jesus.
So that is just an indication of the last 10 minutes, just all Storm just throwing everything at the Broncos. So, yeah, lads, what are your thoughts on those stats? And, yeah, just that little chat, like you would have saw that little chat that Reece did to Benny. What were your thoughts on that? Ringer, you can start, mate. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, you got to love Benny's seems has a lot of control over this team when he's ever playing in the halves. Unfortunately for Reno, the stats are starting to stack up a bit. Wherever Hunty's the 7, we seem to jettison into a sort of a better footy team. So that could be due to a lot of factors too. Like it wasn't just Benny playing this week. We also, Jack Goss was out. Shipper got relegated. Like a few players had a point to prove, but it does seem, and I think what you said there with that little taking the reins sort of moment was that that's sort of indicative of what happens when Benny is the half. He will just, hey, everyone, calm the fuck down. Like it's fine. Whereas I think Reno might be susceptible to, like, if Reece goes, hey, let's chip and chase on our own 30 and see if we can get the ball back because they're a bit gassed. Reno might be like, yeah, fucking oath. I don't know, but, it just seems that way. We seem a little bit more scattered, which is why we can, like, dominate a team. Like, when Reno's there, sometimes we just murder teams, like, because everything clicks and it's just bang, 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 bang. No one can hang with us. But in this sort of grindy stuff, Hunty seems to stand up and just put a real stamp on it. So, yeah, I think you're right, mate. And once again, going back to those stats, all the balls down our end, it's back to the defence. And like you said, the biggest moment, I reckon, Nelly, of the game was when the boys pushed Nick Meaney over the sideline. That just showed, you're going to have to do something pretty good to take this lead off us. And, yeah we were up and about.
Yeah, 100%. Brito, what were your thoughts on, that little interaction and the last 10 minutes with the stats there?
Yeah, ditto everything that Ringer said. I mean, if you go back to last year when we went up against a red hot Bulldogs team undefeated and Reno just kicked them to death.
Yeah.
It's almost like Reno loves that ad lib shit. Like, like the backyard school sort of put it on the chip and chase and get downfield. Like he loves that sort of stuff. And I think when Reece wants to do that, he will be more okay with it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas Ben is definitely, I mean, he's seen a couple of winters, old Benny. Like I know Reno has too, but Ben's been in the trenches and he's definitely had a bit of a hard life, old Benny. But yeah, I feel like he's what we need to mix and match with Reece. And it is interesting that it came out this week that Madge said in the press that they are looking at potentially experimenting with Ben and Adam, as in not playing them the same games. And I think, and I've got to try and make sure we have got it on footage, I think we mentioned it on this podcast last year that we would assume, hey, we're going up against this team, they're more susceptible to kicks. Righto, Reno, you're the 7. Hey, we're going up against this team, they're really gritty. Ben, you're the 7. Adam, you have a rest. Like, I feel like that could be something that we do, especially with this 6-man bench now.
Yeah.
We can have them there. We can have them there 100%. Doesn't mean that they're going to get on the field because our game plan is this. If one goes down, then the other guy comes on, sort of thing. So, yeah, it is going to be interesting going forward looking at that sort of stuff. And I don't want to take anything away from Reno. Like, it's not saying, right, no, you should just retire now, go into the sunset, 100%. We're done. There is a time and a place for Reno's sort of impact. who doesn't love seeing the little general with his fucking footy short fucking strings flapping in the wind as he's chasing down a chip and chase? You know what I mean? Like, love that sort of shit. But, yeah, it's just a very yin and yang way of handling Reed. And we've seen it last year when Reno did have an injury and he was off after even before the Melbourne game, I think it was, and Ben came in. You're like, this is how we play with Reece. This is what we do. Surely Reno comes on the field now. He goes, right, I need to play it like this. But I think it's just his style of footy. When he mixes it with Walshy, sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Rightio, Thoroughbreds, there's one more little note here to go, and then we can get into the full-time notes. 79th minute, last play of the game. After the Storm makes 68 metres in the set, so that's probably why their set metres were so high, Britta, because that's probably what they were doing every fucking set. Fifth tackle play sees Jerome Hughes put up a bomb, which is bat back by Storm number 11, Joe Chan. Storm number 1, Suafa'alongo, gets the ball, beats Grant Anderson's tackle, passes to Storm number 2, Will Warbrick, who then passes back to Sua. He then tries to kick the ball with 15 seconds to go, and Josiah Karapani, while still on the ground after tackling Will Warbrick, lunges at him, gets a hold of Sua's compression garment, sleeve, bandage, whatever the fuck you want to call it, on his quad. It like rolls down his leg to his ankle as Sua's about to kick it, and then like trips up because of it, and then spills the beans. So it's basically a knock on by Sua. 13 seconds to go, 15 seconds to go, and then Broncos basically proceed to run out the clock for the Broncos' first win of the season. Melbourne at home, haven't beaten them in 10 years, as we have said. Like what you said, Brito, 0-23 after being down 14 points against the Storm. No longer 0. She's 1 now. So, she is full-time. Broncos win 18-14. Got some full-time notes here, and then I'll grab your thoughts, lads. Exceptional second half by the Storm. No one's got by the Storm, by the Broncos. What a dickhead. I mean, could have been.
Storm was exceptional in playing their role.
They played their 40 minutes. But no, exceptional second half by the Broncos. Solid scrambling D with the help your mates mentality on full display by the lads, with the Storm throwing everything, including the kitchen sink at them, and still getting held scoreless in the second half. I think that alone, great stat for them to not score at all, and just they threw everything at them. Like, the stats don't lie. We were watching it. It was just opportunity after opportunity for the Storm. They couldn't get the chocolates. Just good D by us. Walsh tackled multiple times in the air for no penalties, which definitely put a dent in the Reece Walsh protected species rhetoric.
Yes,
for sure. Because would critter not get those penalties blown?
Exactly. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Why doesn't the match review committee review shit like that? I don't understand it, hey.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. I know if Mr. Cleary got fucking tackled in the air twice, there'd be shit to fucking say, wouldn't there? Anyway. I'm being salty.
Calm down.
Hassan Carrigan, solid as always. Katoni, aggressive as always. And even the way his hugs is aggressive. So, after Sua, knocked the ball on with 15 seconds to go, nobody's doing nothing. She's all celebrations. And, him and Reece come together, and, Katoni basically just headbutts Reece's shoulder, and then, big slam hug, just Jesus, boy, you are aggressive, aren't you? Even in celebration, you're aggressive. Riki with a double had to be paying 500 to 1. So if you put money on that, I want to see the rest of your slips, because there's got to be 1,000 of them, because that is not a safe bet at all.
Yeah, that's a terrible bet. Terrible bet.
Yeah,
great win. Terrible bet.
It would have been paying good. It would have been paying
huge.
good.
Yeah,
huge money. So excellent work for Riki, and excellent work by you, Mr. Thoroughbred. If you put some dollary dues on it, good on you. Ben Hunt, great leadership and superb at 7 once again. We sort of just said that. But do we go down the mentality if it ain't broke? don't fix it sort of shit. Because, yeah, as you said, Britta, after Renault did get injured against the Storm last year, Hunt came in, and then look at the run that we went on, and now it's happened again,
Yep.
I don't know. Madge has got some, tinkering and planning and, things to do. But, yeah, Hunt at 7, like what you lads just said, it sort of just gels the team
Yes.
more conducively than what Reynolds seems to do. And, this is Adam Reynolds we're talking about. This isn't just some fucking Joe Blow. He's, one of the best to ever do it. He's in shot if he stays injury-free, and we can go on a run to be the most point scorer ever if he goes on a mad run. We spoke about it in this episodes. But, he's up there. He is up there for that reason. He's a solid, amazing, phenomenal player. But, yeah, it's if it ain't broke, don't fix it sort of thing. Just see how we go. We got Dolphins, Tigers, Titans coming up,
Something like that,
Cowboys or something. We got not the hardest run the next couple of weeks. So it's
I think we only have Queensland teams now.
Yeah, 3
don't
Queensland teams in a row.
3 Queensland teams in a row. Yeah. Yep.
Right, yeah. There you go. So it's sort of now's the time to start doing your experimenting and whatnot, and just seeing what the team sort of looks like in the next couple of weeks. But I would like to do a special shout out to Brendan Piakura. Now, a refreshing addition to the team, replacing Jack Goss. His aggression in attack and in defense is something that we have sorely missed the last couple of games from that second row position. I just think that it just definitely closed up that hole that was basically exploited by the Eels last week with Ezra, as we were talking about before, and Jack Goss being there. And I just think, Brennan did a good job. He wasn't mentioned at all during those notes, but he was there. He was fucking aggressive, and just closing that door to that hole makes the opposition have to rethink their strategy. They probably were let's just keep running at this hole. And Brendan's keep it up and I'll put you for a fucking HIA, mate. So, I think,
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah. If you want to leave here with your head, you better fucking rethink your strategy. So, no, I thought it was awesome seeing Brendan back in the team. He's definitely earned his spot over Jack Goss, in my opinion, for sure. But, other people might have a different opinion. But as always, bring on the Dolphins next week. Lads, talk to me. What are your thoughts on the entirety of the game? First half, second half, shout-outs, ringer. Talk to me.
Yeah, mate, I've got to agree with everything you said. It was a real tale of two halves, this game, wasn't it? Like literally, 14 points to the Storm in the first half, 18 to ours. Both oppositions in both halves didn't score a point. It's a very strange game to be breaking down. Great game to be a Broncos fan, though, because it just shows you that somewhere in amongst all the crap we've seen in the first two games, that premiership winning team's just sitting there waiting to do stuff, I think we made 10 errors in the first half. I think it was 10 errors at about maybe being 54% or 48% completions, something ridiculous like that. How we weren't getting 30 on us in that first half is, probably the miracle. But yeah, to see how, like you said, we adjusted our attack in a much more simple way, which is so indicative of a Ben Hunt run team where it's just direct. We've got fast players, run at the line with a lot of support. Someone's going to take a misstep, get the right pass, we're going to go through, and that's what seemed to happen when we had opportunities. It happened in the first half. If Big X catches that ball, and like you said, maybe they call it forward, but if he does catch it, he's probably scoring a try.
Yeah.
Reese gets one to Mariner that he drops, that he looks like he would have burnt, it was a 2-on-1, and Dean with a run-up is pretty hard to stop. So, there's probably two opportunities there that we had them in the first half anyway. But yeah, so I think that unfortunately, I don't think enough is being said of what's happened to our left edge now that Jack Goss is gone, and how much tighter that definitely looked with Big X out there at the start, Brendan coming on to finish the job, it just looked like a completely different edge. And Shibba not being there, to be honest. Like, where teams were just going there for fun and doing what they wanted with us, it definitely looked a lot more solid, even with Big X there. And like Big X he's a monster. He's not the most agile edge defender, but he wasn't letting them through. So I think that surely that experiment's failed. Not failed. Surely that experiment's run its race now where Jack Goss is a starting second rower. Put him on the bench. You know, if all you say to Jack is like, Jack, someone's got hurt, go in the middle and just try your hardest. Like I think he's got to be in the middle. I don't think he can be an edge. I'd rather see Paddy or X or someone go and defend on that edge because he just can't do it. It's been exploited too many times. So I think that's one of the biggest factors about this whole game is that how much better, even though Ezra probably let through the first try, like the Sewer try. Jesus, it's Jordan Sewer and he's scored 6 tries in the first 2 games. So,
Yeah.
you know, he's probably going to score on you. And then the second one with the offload, I'm going to put that down to pure and utter exhaustion and just couldn't wrap up that ball. And like he just runs through. Whereas they didn't punch through that right edge, our left edge, as much as they have been over the last couple of weeks. So I think that makes a big, big difference. Want to give a really big shout out to Jordan Carapani for his defense on that side too. Committing, like Jordan, Josiah tries his guts out every game. And the way he obviously got a directive to make a decision. And if you're going to go hard and stop something. Like either hit your man as he's getting the ball, about to pass to make it hard, something. And he done it. And he scrambled and he bit and fought and carried on, and he runs out of our danger end a lot. So yeah, once again, Josiah Carapani, I reckon one of the best on ground for us, just for those few reads that he shut down early on that could have really opened the floodgates for him.
Yep. Bruno, how do you see it, mate? What were your thoughts? Mate? Talk to me.
Yeah, I've got a good video of Piakura creasing Jerome Hughes as he goes to kick the ball. And then Jerome proceeds to run down the field and make an idiot of himself, running straight into the back of Reese. Before he even hits the ground, he's looking at the ref claiming for a penalty.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a Melbourne Storm fan and you've heard us talk now about Melbourne being Melbourne and your butt hurt, go and look at that and is this really your hero type of thing? So, Brendan was a bit of an enforcer, which was good to see. I want to give a shout out to Corey Pakes, played 80 minutes in the middle. Great effort. He now knows that he can do that, whether or not that's part of Madge's plan as well. The fact that we only used Ben Tolte and Brendan from the bench, I really want to know why. Like, Anderson didn't impress me, but he didn't disappoint me either. He sort of had a debutante, I guess, game up against his old team who they would have known what he's like. Like, I thought he did okay. There's a few silly errors in there and whatnot. I mean, his defense wasn't that great either. What was he? Where is he, Grant Anderson? 42% was his tackling efficiency. Like, it wasn't the best. But good on him for getting out there and cracking it on. But yeah, Tulsi, like, you've got Oblex Tafar, Gamat, Jaden Hunt, Blake Moser, like none of them even look like getting up off the pine. So I don't know if that's Madge sending a message and saying, you know, you can do this, back yourselves, you know, you're fitter than everyone else. We don't need the full bench. Or, you know, was it the fact like Gamat, like, hey, we don't need you out there. We can do it with these people in different positions and whatnot. And, you know, maybe Oblex, I haven't exactly like, and, you know, I'll probably get shot down here. Oblex hasn't blown me off the park. I've been keen to see him go. And I don't know whether that was another shot across the bow. Like, mate, when you need to get out there, you need to give us some effort. Otherwise, I just won't play you. And it'll be up to the other guys to play fatigued and to cover your shit sort of thing. So, but yeah, shout out to Corey Pakes was one of them. And then I also want to, I'm just having a quick look through here. So Benny Hunt did really well defensively, 95%, 22 tackles with 1 missed, and which is
That's a
pretty
lot for a
good for
halfback.
Ben,
Yeah.
especially for Ben. Like, we know that he can, come off second best. Dean Mariner, 17 tackles at centre for 1 missed. I thought that was a really good effort. It's going to be Teamless Tuesday is going to be
Right.
interesting
Yeah.
to see what happens. Yeah, it was great to finally get a win. We put it
Yeah.
on one of the socials that the team didn't just need it; everybody needed that win, especially that win going up against Melbourne. Now there's a bit of pep in everyone's step going up against the 3 Queensland teams moving forward. I haven't heard as much talk about Madge this week already.
Straight away.
So, I mean, we've heard talk. Broncos are obviously making the newspaper front pages, but
Yeah.
Madge has been able to have a sleep in. So, but yeah,
Just before we move on from that, I want to pick up on that point, Brito, about the 6-man interchange. What a fucking flex, though, when you think about it.
bro.
Like with that X starting on the edge, Brendan coming into that, and then X rotating to the middle.
Yeah,
Like, that's some big dick shit in it going,
Yeah.
well, we'll only use 2 of our bench and 6 interchanges and beat Melbourne
Yeah.
at home after being 14
Yeah.
points
Mind
down.
games,
So
eh? That's a
So,
mind fuck right
what
there.
do you want to do? Like,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
you said, it is a big shot at the boys on the Pine, like like Oblex and Moser and whatnot. Like Moser, I can sort of understand, but I'd still wouldn't mind to see him play 10 to 12 minutes to give Corey a
Yeah.
break either side half time when he's fatigued. But it's like, hey, if you want to play for the Broncos, when I put you on there, you go and do Bronco shit, or you're fucking sitting there, because look what these boys
Yeah.
can do in round 3 after we didn't play any preseason and we travelled to fucking England. So, I think it's a big dick flop from Mads to go, oh, we'll just beat you down there and use fuck all interchanges, only use 2 on the bench. And it's big ups to Ben Talty has to be the one that come from New South Wales Cup halfway through next year to be the one that gets to be the forward to rotate in. Like, pretty big. Like, that's good stuff.
There's a lot of guys in that team with a lot of like don't quit sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And he's one of them, mate.
Josiah Karapani, like 21 runs, 158 meters. Josiah's gone to another level this year, even though we've got a 1-2 record at the moment. Johnson played 50 minutes, which he normally doesn't. He's normally around that 30 to 40 sort of things. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, we're done with the review, I believe. We'll move on to the Hotshot NRL Player of the Game, brought to you by Hotshot Fire Services. When it comes to protecting your business, you want a team that responds fast and gets the job done right. And that's exactly what you get with Hotshot Fire Services. From fire equipment, installation and servicing to compliance and safety checks, they make sure you're covered when it matters most. Just like a clutch player stepping up in the big moments, Hotshot Fire Services deliver when the pressure's on. And we have a clutch player stepping up in the big moments. Give a big, massive Thoroughbred round of applause for Jordan Riki. I am so fucking pumped to see him get one of these. He walked away with 68% of the votes. He was up against Patrick Carrigan, which is a big ask in itself. Paddy, I will give a shout out. Does anyone remember? He hit Meanie, didn't he? Because I remember Tulty, I specifically remember it. Tulty peeled away off a slow tackle and you could see he was gassed and he started heading back towards the 10-meter line, and coming back the other way was Paddy Carrigan at an absolute rate of knots. And I was like, what the fuck's going on here? And Paddy has cleaned Meanie up. And Boozer, I think he even lodged the ball loose or something like that, and they pan back to Meany, and he's trying to get off. He looked like a fucking calf had been run over by a road train. And I was like, oh, we're going to get a penalty here for high tackle, offside, not completely clean. And Paddy came out of that line with intent. It was great to see. But no, 68% of the votes goes to Jordan Riki. 80 minutes. He played 2 tries, 8 points, 15 runs, 152 meters, 58 post contact, 7 tackle breaks. So he was doing 10.1 meters per run and 3.87 meters for the post contact per run. 2 line breaks, which obviously gave him 2 meat pies. What else did he do here? Where's his offloads? No, he didn't get any offloads away. Tackle efficiency was 85.37. He got through 35 tackles, 4 missed, 2 ineffective. There was a bit of chat online during the week about fuck Jordan Riki off, get rid of Pakesy, do all this. And I was like, I can't reply to you because it'll just make me look like I'm a sour ass. But we got to show some love for Geordie. We've been spruiking him up on this podcast forever. And this is what he can do. So hopefully he continues. He scored 7 tries in our 2023 campaign. And that's his highest try scoring year. Hoping he breaks that this year if we're going to run that play sort of thing. 1 kick for 14 meters, so he got that in there. Interesting enough, Geordie normally always records kicking meters every season. So there's only 1 season where he hasn't recorded any kicking meters. So someone take that license off that boy. He had 1 error, but other than that, he had a clean sheet. No handling errors or anything like that. So congratulations, Jordan Riki, for our hotshot player of the game. Well done.
Thank you, Hotshot.
Now, thanks, Hotshot Fire Services. Appreciate you. Now, I, again, like I said at the start, didn't get the run sheet out. I haven't been through any of the stats. So what we will do is I'll just run through the NRL top performing players. Then I'll throw it over to you guys. I don't know if you just want to do shout outs or whatever, and if you see anything that you like, but anyway, we'll get through that. So, top performing players, Stefano Utukamano, 44 tackles, Corey Pakes, 44. Sua Falongo, 256 run meters, Payne Haas, 178. Joe Chan had 3 line breaks, Jordan Riki had 2. Joe also took out most fantasy points for the Storm, and Riki had 78, which was the most for us. Ringer, have you got any stats that you want to throw out there, or that's, sort of been on your eye?
Oh, I think we've just got to reiterate how big of an effort Pakesy put in. 80 minutes against Melbourne, defending opposite Harry Grant, and Harry didn't run upfield and score a try or set up one, like cutting us up through the middle. Pakesy obviously was keeping an eye on that, as did all the middles, which is good to see. And Xavier Willison, mate, 47 minutes, very close to 100 meters, I think, for his 9 runs. He did have that error, but once again, he had 22 tackles with only 1 miss. And, once again, we've got that sort of player that is filling in for an edge, because if Brendan's fit and firing, he'll no doubt probably go back to that edge role. So it's a great weapon to have in your duffel bag. Talk about big thickies. Xavier's fucking monstrous, isn't he? When you see him on that field, he is a big boy, and the fact that he is even able, even in the conversation, to be playing on that edge, instead of, like, Jack Goss obviously wasn't doing a job, but there's Fletcher Hunt, there's Oblix that is a smaller body that might be a little bit more agile, but the fact that they just go like, oh no, we'll just put Xavier there, this 6'7" fucking huge person, it's a testament to obviously how much Madge trusts him to fill that gap. So I think he needs a shout out, mate, for what he did for us in really, discouraging Melbourne from tearing us apart on that edge that they would have had penciled in, knowing that Shiver's been dropped. Like it's a fucking new edge, essentially. Like, so, yeah,
Yeah.
I think he just needs a shout out, mate. In amongst players like Paddy and Payne and Pakesy and everyone else that always gets all the raps, I thought X, deserves a little shout out there for what he sort of brought to us in this game.
Mad little quick shout out to Grant Anderson. I just rubbished him. Didn't impress me. 19 runs, 163 meters. Sorry, Grant, but
Yeah.
I didn't review your stats properly, and I was unaware of your game, sir. 56 post contact meters as well is nothing to slouch at. Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
What about you, Langers, mate? Anything stand out for you?
Just like everything like that you lads just said. Like, obviously, good to see Pakesy play 80, Carrigan played 80 as well. Payne Harswood, he played 72, so he only had a little break as well. But good to see he got 6 minutes more than the other game. Where he was off for 2. But like they're just, it's so good having Paddy and Payne on our team. Like, they're, there was that chat that Paddy may go to PNG for, the tax-free dollars, and obviously Payne's leaving us. And like, we've obviously got a replacement for Payne already, but you're not going to find another Payne. You know what I mean? So while we do have them, it's amazing that they are completing and doing their jobs, for us, which is always, and it definitely helps the rest of the team just get that momentum, get those opportunities for, as the Ringers coined them, our Ferraris to then do their job off the back of the hard work that those lads are serving up in the middle. But no, just sort of going through the NRL app, Benny Talty, he only played 27 minutes, still got 71 run meters, 27 post contact for 27 minutes, so less than half an hour on the field. So good to see. It's a bit of a fairy tale story for old Benny. We love him here, obviously. We we speak about him quite often, but just good to see that there's none of that just glaring errors, holes, all that sort of stuff this game. Ezra still missed 6 tackles, so that's probably the weakest sort of point, I guess. But no, like, just good to see good stats finally, if Brito had had the time to do the stats that he normally does, there would have been a lot of green this time around. Not much red, not much white, which is nothing, like 0 sort of thing. So just, good to see. Good to see people playing different positions, with Dean now in the centers. Obviously, Grant Anderson, he's come in for his first game for the Broncos, and just weren't exploited, weren't like, oh, you are out of position, sir. So, no, just all around, good to see. Tony Staggs doing Tony shit. Love that man, He's so aggressive.
I don't understand how he flirts with the match review committee too. Like, fucking hell. Reese's shoulder charge is bullshit, whatever. But then you go and see what Katoni did. And this is where our argument, I guess, for if you cause the other person to go for the HIA, you should go off the field. If not, if you stay in, then you should go to the match review committee, deal with it later. Sure. That there, and this is obviously a Bronco, it would be against us because we would have lost Katoni. But fucking old mate played that so hard. Like, it was going to be impossible for him to stay on the field without going for a HIA. And so I feel like if that had been the case, maybe he does still play on it so that then, Katoni has to go off the field or whatever. Sure. But at least it's sort of like, well, you need to go as well. Like, the fact that we did they did like 3 plays after that, then they're like, oh, hang on, he needs to go off for a HIA. You think? The guy stayed down and was like not wanting to play anything. Like, you got to go off. But anyway, that's, neither here nor there. But it was good. Good. It was a good game. Solid. Appreciate everything. Pretty sure everyone appreciates that. So, where are we going from here? Okay, so we don't have any Gronk chat because he didn't send us in a video, but he did let us know that he's very happy that the Cowboys have the same record as the Broncos, the reigning premiers. So he's got something to crow about. I guess, for this one. But what we will fill this gap in is I think each of us will give our opinion on the Gordon Tallis v Brisbane Broncos saga. I think we could probably get 3 different opinions here. So I'll throw it to Langers first, and then we'll go Ringer, and I'll give mine. Like, what do you reckon, Langers? Just what's your optics? What's your head say?
I would never say fuck Gordon Tallis because I'm scared of the man. I've never met him, but I'm pretty sure if he saw this, he would probably find out where I live and pulverize me into the ground. So he's that sort of bloke. But no, it's a hard one, and I can understand why so many people are 50-50, like it's not one-sided. But like, yes, it is kind of petty for what the Broncos have done. But in saying that, you can't just shit on a club and then expect to still be celebrated by that club. You know, so like, yes, you like Gordon Tallis. I remember Brisbane Broncos, Gordon Tallis of, when I was a kid, sort of thing, like Alfie Langers and all that sort of stuff, but also Gordon Tallis. Like, I remember him as a Bronco more than I remember him playing for any other club, St. George, whatever, like he was a Bronco. So, yeah, like, I I feel like it probably could have been handled better.
Yeah.
But in saying that, you don't know what happened behind the scenes as well. Like, Broncos could have very well have said, "Hey, Power, if you keep fucking shitting on this club, we're probably going to start not endorsing you as one of our cult heroes anymore." And then he's gone, "Fuck you, I'm in the media now. I can say what I want. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing." So, there might have been that behind the scenes, but I don't know. I think I've just spent 2 minutes just saying nothing, basically. But like, yeah, I feel like the Broncos probably could have handled it better if there wasn't any other behind the scenes chat to Gordon. But in saying that, like, yeah, it's the Broncos, and you can't just keep shitting on a club and then expect them to be like, he is amazing, but he shits on us basically every week. And a lot of the stuff that he says, like, I don't agree with, like that whole Adam Reynolds should play even if he's injured because he's the captain. Like, what the fuck are you even on about, lad? It is round 3. Like, no, he is an aging player that's retiring at the end of this year, and you want him to play through an injury? Like, nobody is doing that. Nobody is going to enforce that, whether you're at the Broncos or you're at a different club. So I don't agree with everything that the man says, but I feel like it probably could have been handled a bit better by the Broncos.
That's fair. What about you, Ringer?
Yeah, I'm a bit the same as Langers, is where I believe that there's, 2 things can be true at once. The Broncos could have been less petty about changing the name of whatever it was to the Ali Bringshaw thing. But also, Gordy can't, like, you can have your opinion. And this is my problem with Gordy, right? Is that he's shitting on the club pretty constantly, but he never finishes it with, but I hope they get the best out of it. Like he can say, I don't agree with Renault going on TV after he's got a loss and he's injured and whatnot. But he said, hopefully that's the right decision though, because I want to see him go good. He doesn't put that caveat in anymore. He's really bitter since Kevy left. I understand Kevy and him, great mates, whatever. But you can't on one hand just bag a club, and then all of a sudden be a butthurt when it's like, Gordy, you're a great, but we're going to take your name off. And then now everyone's sort of rallying around him going, like, and all these mates, and you understand it because I sort of understand it too. But like, you can't just keep doing it, mate, because you're hurting brand Bronco. If we're going to put you as a pin-up boy, as one of our greats, but every week you're the one on the media saying, Madge is fucking terrible. He's doing the wrong thing. Renault, the captain, did the fucking wrong thing. Like, he's been the main mouthpiece of the criticism, right? On that panel. So, and Peter Bedell had to stand up to Gordon Tallis, and good on him for doing that on R360. Like, and that thing Bretto sent today of Sean Johnson saying, essentially it was braver for Renault to go and do that because the club is struggling. He is the captain. All the questions around Madge, said the easiest thing in the world to do was for Renault to do would be say, "Oh, I'm a bit injured, mate. I'm just going to stay home." So,
Yeah.
like, you see, there's so many different avenues to what could have happened here. Two things could be true, and I don't think the Broncos should have taken the Gordon Tallis thing off. I would love to have seen some, and content-wise, fucking how good if you would have got CEO Gordy on 360 saying this shit, say, "Gordy, we fucking love you. You're one of our favourite Broncos ever, but mate, you do not stop shitting on this fucking place." And have Gordon,
Yeah.
defend that allegation because it's true, and say,
Yeah.
because I want to see Gordon say, "I love the club." Like, he's a Titans representative now, so I don't know if he's even allowed to say it. But if he come out and said, "I absolutely would die for this club. This is my club. I'm not a Dragon. I'm a Bronco. Blood, sweat, and tears. I want to see this club flourish." Fair enough. But we haven't heard that caveat. It's just been shit on the Broncos, shit on the Broncos, shit on the Broncos, and then consequences for the actions. And now everyone's like, "Oh, poor Gordy." It's like, mate, you
Yeah.
can't, like, it's not, you can't have it both ways, So, and like, hands up, I would not have changed it because I do think Gordon deserves more than the banter stuff. He what his contribution to the Broncos is greater than the shit on part that he's doing now. But there has to be a point where it goes over the edge, and I think someone at the club's gone, fucking, and it's News Corp too. That
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like,
Yep.
they're loving it because it is the biggest story in the country at the minute in sports, and it's fucking great. Rugby
Yeah.
league, rugby league home and away is the best TV, isn't it? Like, fuck me, days of
That
our
would have been
lives.
really good, actually. NRL 360, get Dave Donnie in there, face to face with fucking Tallis. Shit, yes. Anyway,
Shoot it out.
my opinion is, sorry, the Matty Johns thing, he come out and had said that the Broncos fucked it up, blah, blah, blah. That's all great, except when we go and we look at it the other way and they say no player is bigger than the club. So I'm going to go down that path. No player is bigger than the club. If you want to shit on the club all the time, I'm sorry. And no one will be able to disconnect Gordon Tallis from the Broncos. That will be embedded forever. You don't need a name on the door for people to go, "Oh, that's right, Gordon Tallis played for Broncos." No, that's just going to be part and parcel sort of thing. So what I don't like is that Ali's been dragged into it for no absolute. They should have made a completely separate fucking thing. Even when she retired, wait till she retire. Hey, now we're going to call this the Ali Briginshaw elevator or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, like, surely we could have done something better there. But as in terms of getting rid of Tallis, I think play on, because Tallis has done that much shitting on the club ever since, obviously, it started way back when he got benched by Wayne. So he hated Wayne. So wherever Wayne went, he hated that club. Fair enough. Then his mate, Kevy, got sacked and it went up a level. Sure. It's to the point now where, as a fan of the Broncos, I see Tallis more as an Origin legend than what I do as a Broncos legend, because he shits on the club so much. So, and I think in our comments, there's a lot of them are the same. They're just over him just shitting on the club. He can't, I don't know, it'd be difficult for him because he is welded in with the Titans there and whatnot. So that would be, but he doesn't need to come out and shit on our club specifically. Yeah. Like, look in your own backyard if you want to look at, thing. Anyway, why is he shitting on our club specifically? Why is he not shitting on the other 16 fucking clubs, sort of thing? So anyway, that's just, to me, my memory of Tallis in the Brisbane Broncos is in a teal jersey punching the fuck out of Ben Ross. Like, that's what it's dwindled down to, is that moment. And then I go to Origin and there is Tallis everywhere in Origin. Like, that's the sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know. I think I think it's done now. It's got a week out of it of newspapers and social media clicks and all sorts of shit. And then we just move. We got to win, so it dies down. If it had got a loss, then it would have just erupted. But I am kind of glad that they did it before the win, because if we had done it after a loss, then we just look sour grapes and shit. So
yeah, but what
anyway.
I think is important too is the response incoming this week. I didn't watch 360 tonight. Unfortunately, we're probably watching Peppa Pig or something fucking stupid like that. But if Gordon surely Gordon's got to come out and say, "Well, I probably got this wrong. We beat Melbourne in Melbourne, which no one does, being 14 points down." It'll be interesting to see what the comments are, if there is any at all, whether he says anything positive at all, because that's the point. Like, that's the caveat of mine is like, okay, you can shit on the club. We shit on the club when we're going like shit. If we had a podcast when Seabold was the coach, fuck me, I would not want to listen to that. Like, whatever. But you have to acknowledge when the things work. And, there is things that don't work. We acknowledge it every week, and even we're in the harsh reality now. Maybe Ben Hunt should be our 7. Whatever.
Yeah.
We can have these opinions, but what we want to say is that the club is going forward and going well, and what obviously Madge is doing has worked.
Yeah.
It's up to someone like Gordy now that has a position what he is to do that also, to gain those people back that he's lost, I think.
Yeah, true. All right. That's our opinion, Thoroughbreds. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are on that one.
And all three of us
I'm
are
pretty
in
sure
at the minute, so bad place to be on a Tallis fucking feud.
All right, we'll move on to the week ahead. We'll get through this real quick. Wasted enough of your time as it is. The injuries. So we have Billy Walters, ACL, coming back round 20. Jack Goz has done his 11-day concussion protocol, so he should be available for selection. Adam Reynolds, interesting news. Joel Gould has reported on X. Brisbane Broncos skipper Adam Reynolds, ribs, just put a shot on Ezra Mam in contact and dislodged the ball. Looks fine so far, and you'd think just has to get through the week to play the Dolphins. So that was at training today. So all looking good. Hopefully it was just the management that he needed, the game that he needed. So it is going to be a very interesting team list, as we have said. That's really all. We're pretty good on the injury front so far. On the judiciary, Katoni Staggs once again avoids going through to the match review. He's got a first offence for a careless high tackle, early guilty plea, $1,000 fine. So good on that, Katoni. Good to see as well. Shout out to Brendan Piakura that he is getting everything right when it comes to his timing. So not putting himself out there for HIA, touch wood, because he'll go out and fucking wreck himself against the Dolphins. Yeah, fucking Piakura from out of nowhere sort of stuff. But we are versing the Dolphins. We are, let me just... Round 4, Friday, 27th, 7 p.m. It is at Suncorp. It is a home game for us, not for the Dolphins. So get down there and get amongst it. Head-to-head, we'll face them 6 times with 0 draws. We have won 5. They have won 1. Ladder positions at the moment, they are sitting in 6th, and we are down in 13th. Wins this season, we are 1 from 3. Dolphins are 2-1. So 2 wins, 1 loss. Really impressive win, actually, over the weekend against the Sharkies. A lot better in a week from what they dished up last Sunday against the Titans. The odds, and I do actually want to get this up because I do want to see it. Also, if you're interested in knowing what odds Jordan Riki was paying, he's currently paying for a double $15. But Ben Tolte, who does score tries, is paying $61 for 2.
Yeah.
And the next one is Corey Jensen at 101. So I'm going to guess Geordie was between 61 and 101 for 2 tries. So also, don't be alarmed, but Xavier Willison is currently you're unable to bet on him this weekend for a try. So I don't know what they know that we don't. Hopefully nothing. But the odds at the moment, so before Friday, we were $1.26 to win, and the Dolphins were $3.82. At the moment, we're at $1.50, and they are at $2.58. So come in a little bit, but they're still expected to win. So we will see how we go there. Moving on to the tipping comp. The ladder before the weekend, Kiwi Bronx fan, Shem there with his Joker play, total points of 12 was leading. Our very own Langers coming in second with 11 points. Jason Ward, he's also tied there with 11. Then we had Thunderwolf, Chriso in fourth on 10 points. Penalty Cowboys. I see what you're doing there, Justin. He was in fifth on 10 points as well. After the weekend, and I'll do the round 3 points, Penalty Cowboys, Justin, has played his Joker, and he got 10 points, so 5 out of 8. So well done there. Second place was Becky. Psycho. That's her team name, Psycho, and it's Becky, so
Wow.
good job there. Yeah, 7 out of 8. Well done. And then 6 against Smacks, our boy Jeremy down in Melbourne comes through with 7 out of 8 as well. So I won't look at what did he have? Weekly margin of 2. Good job. Jeez. Tell you what, if Justin hadn't played his Joker, that's an outright winner right there.
That's a great score.
Langers, you still keeping up there? 6? 6 out of 8. Jack Ringer got 6 out of 8.
7,
I
didn't
went
I?
absolutely shit. Did you get 7? No, you got 6. Says 6
Right.
here, mate. Don't look
Yeah.
at me. I'm
Oh, no,
fucking
I
I'm
got
last.
the Titans. Damn it. Right. That explains a hell of a lot.
That's right, mate. I got 3 out of 8. So
Your
Perfect.
season margin is crazy, bro.
Bro.
76 after 3 rounds, man. Just swinging for the fences, lad.
me and Nathan, old Nate Dog here, 80 on his
He's at
season
80,
margin.
yeah, shit.
So him and I are going to tussle that one out for the biggest margin, I reckon.
Yeah.
And then the Gronk he also got 3 as well. So him and I are down the bottom there, just absolutely fucking doing nothing. Penalty Cowboys, Justin shoots to the lead with 20 points. Angers sitting in second still on 17. Jason Ward still on third on 17. Psycho Becky moves up into fourth. Battiator Josh is in fifth. So that rounds out the top 5. So good stuff there. Get your tips in. Make sure you're ready for the next round. On the Super Coach, well done to Top Shit, taking out this week with 1,311. That's an absolute crazy score. That's good.
Good score.
He moves up 35,000 spots because of that. So big effort there. Mr. Bateman came in second, 1,304. Temar, 2 in third there, 1,295. And then we've got Lightning McLean and Silky Slugs rounding out the top 5 for round 3. For the total scores, Silky Slug is winning 3,983 total points. They are in the top 3,000. They are 2,669th. Well done.
That's crazy, eh? Like,
That's
so
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
Ruckney Daddy,
good work.
Ryan, sitting at 2,900. Free Ballers William, 5,628 position. And then we've got the Cross 13, Elsa's Echidnas. Don't rule out last year's comp winner, BJ's Battlers. He is climbing back into contention. He's made it into the top 10. He's sitting 16,507th overall. So well done there, BJ's Battlers, for climbing in. Where is the rest of us? We are dog shit.
I'm 57th out of 78.
My Lord.
I think I'm below you, aren't I?
I've just gone straight to the bottom to try and find me, to be fair. Yeah, you are 64th, Ringer.
I am in some world of it.
You've got some trades coming up or what?
Done them already. Rage.
Done them already. Done. Rage traded.
I'm changing that all tomorrow, but I was booting. Like, if I was a coach in a fucking team, there would be some cunts doing some long ass laps.
Yeah.
Not one though. He done an ACL, so
Yeah. Dropped. Look, I like your hustle, but this is why it's so hard to drop you.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
100%.
where am I? I'm at 55th. So I'm getting some
We'll
green
work our
ticks
way
all
back.
the
We'll
way.
work our way back.
We'll work it. It will be there. We'll be there. I want to see where is that little shit? He's far
Gronk,
too high
no.
up. He's actually. I seen him the other day. He
Didn't he get
is
like
vibe
1280 or
base.
something this week?
He's 20. Yeah, he got 1,256. He's sitting 24,710th. He is sitting 23 out of 78 in our comp at the moment. So well done. He's
Good on
always
you, Gronk.
consistent. That lad.
Yeah, consistently good.
Best bets. Don't follow us.
No.
Langers, you even got your Sharks head-to-head wrong.
Bruh,
Dolphins ruined
Bruh.
that for you.
who fucking picked the Dolphins though? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Zero
Like,
people.
bruh,
Zero.
of
Yep.
course it had to happen on my fucking whatever.
Noah Martin, bad beat for me again. I'm still gonna start. I'm still backing thickies to cross over. I don't care.
Yeah.
But Dave Fafita Gronk was pretty unlucky with Dave to miss out. And the Rabbitohs Tigers total match 53.5 overs ringer. Didn't go the way you thought it would, did it?
Didn't get there, did it?
No.
But I've got a theory on best bets, right? So
Yeah.
you went Jordan
Go.
Riki anytime. He scores 2.
Let's see
You
where you're
then
going
went-
here.
Okay.
Yeah. So who'd you go then? Who'd you go this week?
You
went
going
Noah Martin.
Noah Martin. Yeah.
I'm putting in my civvies. Noah Martin, maybe 2+.
For a double.
For a double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just if this pattern sticks, like
Well, who are they playing? Could be.
they
Could be.
have someone terrible, I'm pretty
Sharkies
sure.
at home.
Raiders are at home. Ooh. When a day game.
Yeah. Up against the Sharkies. Sunday, 3:05.
Noel Martin 2+, but the Sharks to win.
Ooh.
And all right. And
Just
that'll
a
be
dirty
like
boy.
omen bets for both of us then.
Yeah, exactly.
We do need to win though, guys, because
The
we are
opposite
running out of
multi.
funds.
Maybe that should be what we
the
run.
opposite multi.
Yeah.
What did you
Love
do
it,
last
love
week?
it.
We'll do the opposite of that this week and then fucking chuck it all on.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's us. We'll move on with our lives as we see it. Let us know who had a shit take. Let us know your thoughts. You agree with us, all that sort of stuff. Head over to our socials if you're new here, and give us a follow. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Threads, all the socials. Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Also see a lot of you guys getting out and about and listening to us on different platforms. Let us know if you want us to directly upload to any of your favorite. We can have a look at getting that sorted. Remember that a like on our posts costs you guys nothing, so please just throw them out willy-nilly. Comment gives us motivation, also helps with the engagement. Love seeing everyone getting in their comments and chit-chatting back and forth. Sharing our content introduces the pages to others, so please do so when you can. Get your voicemails in, get your tips in, and shore up your Supercoach teams. Bet responsibly, bet for fun and not the rent. Keep pushing through and keep the black dog at arm's length. Be a contributor to society, but take those breaks when you need them, Thoroughbreds. Because remember, you matter, and that's all that matters. So we'll take it easy. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the footy. Catch you later.
Cheers, Thoroughbreds.
Good on you, Thoroughbreds. Get onto that voicemail.